Would you like to accelerate your growth by acquiring more physician clients? In this video, I'd like to explore 3 questions with you. First, why might you be interested in working with physicians? Second, why is this the time to work in the medical market? And third, how do you do it? Here's the headline. This is the right place and the right time to mine the treasures in the medical market. I'm Dr. Vicki Rackner, your host. I leverage my experience as a practicing physician and entrepreneur to help my clients take the fastest, easiest, and most direct path to success in the medical market. I speak with advisors regularly who say things like, "Oh yes, I tried to work with doctors once. It just doesn't work." When I hear these stories, I'm reminded of a scene from my son's toddler years. He had a love affair with trucks. One day we went past a huge construction site. He pointed his chubby little toddler fingers in the direction of the dirt pile and said, "Touch trucks." I said, "Sweetie, that would be great, but look, there's a fence all around the construction site. And do you see the sign on that locked gate? It says, 'Do not enter.'" He thought for a moment and suggested, "Take down sign." I help my clients take down the "Do Not Enter" sign so they're able to achieve success in the medical market, like my client who's acquiring 1 to 2 new physician clients each month, or my client who went from struggling to the $1 million roundtable in less than a year, or another who spoke at a national medical meeting. However, I also want to let you know that I personally understand that frustration of seeing a goal that's right before you, but having it be so far away. So let me tell you my own personal story. I describe myself as an accidental surgeon. I was in a graduate program when one day I fainted on my way to the bathroom. I had an actively bleeding ovarian cyst, and by the time I got to the operating room, about half of my blood volume was in my pelvis. Here's my operative note. I thought I was dying. I remember waking up in the recovery room being so grateful to be alive that I just knew I was going to be a doctor and save other people's lives like my own had been saved. Well, you won't be surprised to discover that I did wind up in a career in surgery. After completing a surgical residency, I set up a private practice here in Seattle. I've had the honor of treating tens of thousands of patients and serving as a clinical faculty at the University of Washington School of Medicine. Once my practice was tucked in, it was time to turn my attention to my family. I faced fertility issues, but thanks to the wonder of in vitro fertilization, I was able to conceive. Here's my son at an 8-cell stage. And here he is as a newborn. Not too far into his new life, he was diagnosed with a health concern. I decided to take a leave of absence from my practice to put my family first. In the meanwhile, I supported my family by serving as an expert in medical malpractice lawsuits. After about a year, my son was given a complete bill of health. The question for me was, what next? How many people have been a doctor, a patient, a family caregiver? How many people have seen firsthand how and why care goes off tracks? I decided to shift gears and launch a consulting business to help doctors and patients collaborate more effectively. The company was Medical Bridges, and I thought that this was going to be a slam dunk. After all, who doesn't want better medical outcomes, lower medical costs, and the avoidance of terrible medical errors? The reality was that I struggled. I kept on reaching out. I took business courses and acquired new marketing skills and hired high-powered mentors. Sometimes I felt like a Martian in the world of medicine. I had an aha moment when I was over in Europe trying to plug in my laptop. Making a business connection is like making an electrical connection. You can't just plug in your laptop in Europe because Europe is wired differently. Well, that was it. I, as a doctor, was wired differently than business-minded people. All I needed was an adapter to be able to plug into business-minded people. So that's what I set about doing. And I got much different business outcomes. Here are some of the places that I've been quoted and books that I've written. I've had the honor of delivering keynotes at national meetings. I'm not sharing this with you to boast, but rather to make a point. I was the same person before and after this business transformation. What I did was I acquired new skills and knowledge and insights that allowed me to get much different business outcomes. My secret sauce is characterizing the differences between doctors and business-minded people. I call them white coats and suits. I've built a bridge between the world of business and the world of medicine, and I help accompany my clients from one world to another. It's easier for you as a business-minded person to work with business-minded clients. This brings us to our first question. Why work with physicians? Here are the most compelling reasons. The first is Suttons Law. When Willie Sutton was asked why he robbed banks, he said, "It's simple. That's where the money is." There is money in the medical market, and let's take a look at the numbers. There are 800,000 practicing physicians and 200,000 practicing dentists in the U.S. According to the U.S. Department of Labor Statistics, 9 out of the top 10 earners in the U.S. call themselves doctor. Further, 40% of practicing physicians are age 50 or older. They have high net worth. Physicians tend to be loyal clients whom you'll have for life. Client retention is not an issue as it is with so many other groups of high net worth clients. And here is the single best feature about the physician market. Physicians influence other physicians. One day I got a huge check. I went to one of my colleagues and said, "Bob, I just got a big check. What do I do?" He said, "You need a financial advisor. Go and see Paul. He does a great job." A recommendation from a physician I trusted was all I needed. Even before I called Paul, I knew that he was my guy just because I trusted Bob so much. Doctors behave like tropical fish. They gather together and move in the same direction together under the guidance of the key physician opinion leader. One of my clients calls them physicians. Here's a question for you. Why do tropical fish school? The answer is it offers protection against predators. Physicians experience themselves as financial prey. They know that there are unscrupulous people out there. So what do? They see people as either insiders or outsiders. You're part of our school or you're not. They would rather turn to somebody that they trust and get financial advice from a cardiothoracic surgeon than to trust a potential stranger. Only about half of physicians are working with professional financial advisors. When they were asked, "Why aren't you working with somebody?" the most common response was, "I can't find somebody that I trust." There are effective ways of building trust and positioning yourself as an insider. Those are all strong business arguments for pursuing this profitable niche. The question, though, is what's special about this time? The answer is the Affordable Care Act. Physicians are experiencing acute financial pain, and their pain is your business opportunity. The estimated cost for insuring 47 million Americans runs someplace between 1 and 2.7 trillion. How will we as a nation pay for that? Here's what the administration says. If everyone is insured, we'll avoid high-cost healthcare services like emergency room visits. We'll pay higher taxes. The higher the income, the higher the tax paying. Remember that 9 out of the 10 top earners in the U.S. call themselves doctor. Next, there will be greater efficiencies in healthcare delivery, but somebody's got to build that infrastructure. Some of that burden is falling on physicians. The average small physician office is spending $50,000 to $100,000 investing in electronic medical records. This year, hospitals and clinics are spending hundreds of millions to billions of dollars updating their electronic medical records. Next, there will be spending cuts. That's a euphemism for lower professional fees for physicians. Here's what keeps doctors up at night. It's decreasing reimbursements, rising expenses, and costly regulatory changes. They're feeling the financial squeeze from both ends. Physicians' acute financial pain is your business opportunity, and that's why I say this is the right place and the right time to mine the treasures in the medical market. Let's turn to the practical question, how do you do it? From my own personal experience, I learned the importance of understanding the difference between white coats and suits. Doctors are wired differently than you are. They think differently than you do. And the major difference is their relationship with money. I've identified the 10 laws of physician engagement. In general, when you align your actions with these laws, you get the best outcomes in the medical market. Let your actions be guided by a cultural competency in the differences between suits and white coats. When you're trying to acquire physician clients, you're entering the land of medicine. A recent episode of Shark Tank illustrates the consequences of cultural insensitivity. A doctor entrepreneur entered the Shark Tank to secure funding to grow his medical device company. He painted the picture of an ideal investment opportunity, complete with an innovative product, a huge proven market, and $10 million in sales. As I listened, I thought he could get a 5-shark deal. Things quickly fell apart, though, during the Q&A. Here are a few snippets from the exchange sparked by the shark's inquiries about sales. The doctor said, "We could be making quite a bit of money if I wanted to. I'm not all that interested in the money. It's a tool I use to hire people." So Lori says, "You're not interested in making money?" And he says, "That's not my motivation. Medical training is very important. It's a way of saving lives." Then Kevin asks, "Well, what about profits? Do you care about this?" And the doctor said, "I will at some point." Kevin said, "Not encouraging words to an investor." Only one shark decided to invest. And since the airing of the show, that deal fell through. This entrepreneur's inability to speak the shark's language and see the world through their eyes cost him the buy-in of 4 sharks. This Shark Tank logo is a great visual metaphor. You hook a shark's interest by talking about money. However, when you want to hook the interest of doctor prospects, talk about service and legacy. Next, you want to be able to get in front of more doctor prospects. Or another way of saying that is you want to invite doctors to the dance of wealth. You are offering financial leadership to physicians. You're looking for more dance partners. You may approach marketing like a prom. It's your job to attract the attention of your prospects and invite them to the dance. The dance of wealth with doctors works more like a Tolo event. The doctor prospects will invite you. That means the laws of marketing are different when you work in the medical market. In your classic marketing efforts, you go out and find prospects. Under the Tolo rules, prospects find you. You want to be ubiquitous so that doctors can find you. In the old marketing rules, you might talk about the problems that you solve. However, if you want to capture physicians' attention, it's important to talk about problems that concern them. And remember, they have a fundamentally different relationship with money than you do. Historically, you may feel like it's your job to send messages to prospects. Under the Tolo rules, what you want to do is place your value where prospects can find them. Instead of driving traffic to your website, how about getting your information on medical associations' websites, so it's there where doctors already gather. You're in front of the traffic instead of attracting traffic to you. Historically, you might feel like your job is to get known through advertising where you talk about yourself, your products, and your services. Under the Tolo rules, it's important to talk about things that doctors are interested in. So if you're making educational videos, don't talk about your products. Talk about something that doctors are actually asking you about. Some advisors think of themselves as a transactional agent. Doctors want a trusted expert in their corner. Under the old rules, you may see your job as selling. You will be most attractive to physicians and hook their attention if you are dedicated to service like they are. If you want to conduct business with doctors, conduct yourself as one. And here's something that's going to make a huge difference for you. Under the old rules, it's like a hunter-gatherer mentality. You go out, you bag a client. Each client is like your next first client. High performers in the medical market are able to leverage their early wins as you cultivate a culture of introductions. Your first doctor client makes it easier to get your second doctor client, which makes it even easier to get your third client. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a meeting of the Seattle Surgical Society. One of my friends quipped that he actually signed an employment contract on a cocktail napkin at an event like this. Imagine if you were able to get invited to this event, or maybe imagine what would happen if you were an after-dinner speaker. So these are the kinds of strategies that will help you thrive under this new Tolo or Sadie Hawkins mindset. The third thing that you want to do is plan for strategic growth. You understand that conducting business with doctors does not fall under a B2B model or a B2C model. I call it B2D, conducting business with doctors. And I've developed a B2D blueprint that will help you do the smart things first. So let me just take you through the 6 steps of the B2D blueprint very quickly. Step number 1 is finding your focus. You don't want to try to be all things to all doctors. You want to strategically focus on groups of doctors who will talk about you. There are 3 criteria for a strategically chosen group. First, they're like-minded with a similar source of pain. So physicians who have an ownership stake in their practice have fundamentally different concerns than physicians who are employees. Cardiologists have different concerns than psychiatrists. So you want to choose doctors who have similar sources of pain. So when you create a solution for one, others can take advantage of it. Second, you want to choose groups that get together so that they can talk about you. I've got a client who does nothing but serve Pakistani orthopedic surgeons. This is such a tight network that word about him gets around. Third, you want to have affinity for this group. This is an intimate relationship. You're going to have this client for the rest of your career. You want to choose well so that you truly enjoy working with your clients. Next, you want to gather intelligence so that you can see the world through the eyes of your prospects. This allows you to be at the right place and the right time with the right marketing message. Next, you want to take this information and act on it so that when you actually go to the dance, you make a great first impression. I call this the Cinderella Stage. So what's involved with this? To understand the importance, consider a magnet. Depending on the orientation of the magnet, they can either attract or repel each other. What I'm here to tell you is the things that are attractive to a business-minded client, a suit, may be repulsive to a white coat. So you want to make sure that all of your marketing messages and all of your marketing materials are going to attract and not repel the interests of physicians. Let's just say that your value proposition is helping physicians build wealth. I think of this like filling a tub with water. You may think that your job is to take the water in the tub and keep it from splashing out or leaking out. Right now, though, physicians are worried about the inflow. They're worried about reductions in their revenue. It's all one system. If you can collect or create or even curate content that will address their concerns, you're much more likely to move on to your agenda. If, God forbid, you had a medical problem, you'd want to work with the doctor who sees patients with that concern every day. Well, physicians want to work with somebody who works with orthopedic surgeons just like them every single day. What you want to do is somehow plant your flag in the medical market and communicate that you have this special focus with physicians. It's important to have a web presence that says this, especially if you're working with millennials. Are you going to be a lumper or a splitter? Are you going to have a For Doctors tab on your existing website? Or might you want to set up a separate website that's just for doctors? Let's say your business name is Willow Wealth. Maybe you purchase the URL Willow Wealth for Doctors. Next, you want to have a collection of what I call yummy treats. If you've ever trained a puppy to come, the puppy will come to you if they know that when they come, you've got a yummy treat. So think about collecting yummy treats for doctors. Most advisors would rather spend their time meeting prospects than developing these yummy treats. So I've got good news for you. I've got a whole library of them that are available to you. Probably my highest value offering is this ebook that I've written to help physicians get more patients. Just like every business wants more customers, so too every physician, even the busiest physician, wants more patients. This is a book that you can co-brand. Our second most popular offering is a webinar that helps physicians generate more revenue. You can also co-brand this. Once you have the back end all set up, you're ready for your grand opening. You're ready to go out and meet doctor prospects. Now, if I were you, here are the 3 campaigns that I would put on the top of my list. The first is a campaign that I call the Do You Know campaign. That's where you make a list of family, friends, and fans, people who already know you, like you, and trust you, and go out and let them know that you're now serving doctors who are serving the community. Let them know that if they know any cardiologists in private practice who would like some help with this or that, have the cardiologist contact you and you will deliver this yummy treat to them. So what you're doing is you're putting a link in the chain of trust. These people trust you, doctors trust them, and you're just asking them to add a link. This is the fastest way for you to get your first few physician clients. Some people worry, well, will I scare away business-minded people if I talk about my focus in the medical market? And I can tell you that I've had a number of people come back to me and say that when they planted their flag in the medical market, that actually attracted business-minded people. If you're working with doctors, that's considered an elite kind of client. So that means you must be really good. The second highly effective campaign is an informational interview campaign. That's where you identify top physicians in your tribe, in your school, and go and interview them. So you send them a formal interview request either by email or in writing. Let them know that you are committed to serving the physicians who serve the community. There are a lot of changes. Would they be willing to help you by sitting down and talking with you so that you can see the world through their eyes? When you send out the interview request, I recommend that you make a promise in the letter that you will not solicit their business and then honor that promise. Usually what happens, though, is that you'll be talking with the doctor for 10 or 15 minutes, really listen to what they say, and inevitably at the end, they'll turn to you and say, now what is it again that you do? Okay, so here are the advantages of these informational interviews. The next time that you're talking with a pathology prospect, you can say, it's interesting that you mentioned that. Just the other week, I was talking with the president of your association. So you position yourself as somebody who's rubbing shoulders with the experts. Second, it's a way of you getting great information that you can pass along to your clients. Inevitably, when you talk with high performers, they're going to share a little pearl of wisdom. Keep track of those. Comment. Doctor, what a great idea. I speak with other pathologists. May I pass along this tip with attribution to you? Of course. Then imagine what you could do with these pearls of wisdom. You could create a little booklet with one pearl of wisdom on a page. Maybe it's 100 pearls of wisdom. You could even get this printed up and given out as gifts. If a doctor is quoted, inevitably they're going to purchase these books and give it to their friends. Then at the very end, you can say, thank you, doctor, for your time. I know that this is a time of rapid change, and I'm dedicated to serving the doctors and helping them take control of their financial destiny. If you were me and you wanted to help more doctors, what would you do? Then just be quiet. Doctors will give you your marketing plan. They'll tell you exactly whom to contact, what associations to go to, where to go with possible articles for publication. The third campaign works especially well in the summer months when your other marketing activities are at a lull. It turns out that the medical calendar begins on July 1st. That's because medical school starts on July 1st. That means that there are new doctors coming to your town. What about welcoming them with some kind of welcome package? So imagine going to businesses in your local community, introducing yourself as somebody who has a commitment to helping doctors build wealth. Just say to them, we've got a bunch of new doctors coming into town. Would you like to offer any sort of special discount or coupon to acquire more physician clients yourself? Let's say you go to the Porsche dealer. Inevitably, this Porsche dealer is going to sell Porsches to doctors. They could potentially be the sources of referrals for you. They could be power partners. So you're giving local businesses the opportunity to be more successful. You're getting word out about yourself. Now you've got a whole package that you can deliver to a new doctor. Then what you can do is find out how the new doctors in your community are announced. In lots of communities, there are ads taken out in the newspaper. Sometimes there are things mailed to people's homes. Find out what works there. Identify those new doctors and invite the doctor out to breakfast or lunch to learn more about them and learn what kind of patient referrals they're interested in. That would be a great time to give them this welcome package. The best way to get a referral yourself is by giving referrals. So this campaign is a win all around. These marketing campaigns will get you knee to knee with doctors. So what happens after this first contact? It would be great if you could just move on directly to what I call the commitment conversation, where you just look a doctor in the eye and say, "Doctor, would you like to do business together?" Unfortunately, that's not how doctors are wired. Doctors tend to be very conservative people who generally need to be exposed to a message between 7 to 10 times before they take action. What you'd like to do is build an infrastructure that leverages technology so that you can get these contacts in while you're sleeping and when you're on vacation. I highly recommend putting a sign-up box on your website and get permission to send them something on a monthly basis. This builds the relationship, it helps take the next steps, and it keeps you top of mind when another doctor might need your services. Next, you want to develop a culture of introductions. This is like marketing martial arts. You're just going with the natural momentum of physicians anyway. Physicians share things with each other. They share resources. If you can set things up in a way that they share your value that you're bringing to them, you have a way of getting to your high ROI stage really quickly. Ultimately, your end game is getting the phone ringing, getting doctors talking about you so they're coming to you. Let's go back up to 50,000 feet and do a summary. Today, physicians are worried about revenue. They don't normally like talking about money. Half are behind in retirement planning, but that knowledge is not enough to inspire them to take action. The challenges that they face in the era of the Affordable Care Act will compel them to take action. They need financial leadership. Physicians' acute financial pain is your business opportunity. Let me just give you a little story to help you understand what's happening. I love my dentist, and a couple of years ago, my dentist mentioned to me that it was important to get a filling replaced. It had been in my mouth a long time. He was worried about the possibility of it pulling from the tooth and causing decay under it. He said it's not urgent, but you should do it. I kept putting it off year after year. But when I got a little popcorn kernel under my gum and it set up an abscess, I was in to see him right away. This was a pressing problem. Retirement planning is like the filling that needs to be replaced. However, the revenue problem is like that gum abscess. It needs to be taken care of right now. And once it's taken care of, the opportunity is gone. Somebody is going to step in and offer financial leadership to doctors. Why not you? You can leverage these opportunities and really do very, very well financially by establishing yourself in the medical market. If you decide that you want to pursue the opportunities in the medical market, please know that at Targeting Doctors, we have many products and services to support your success, to give you the competitive advantage. Let me just give you an overview. First, we offer courses and training. Our signature offering is the Cracking the Physician Code course. That's where you learn the 10 laws of physician engagement and really flesh out this B2D blueprint. This is available as a home study kit, as a live web-based course, or as a 2.5-day boot camp. Next, we have a collection of done-for-you deliverables to doctors. So they're high-value items that you can co-brand and send to physicians. They're all digital files, so you keep down your marketing costs. We do other things like create landing pages and autoresponders so that it's easy to do your drip marketing. We have monthly done-for-you marketing campaigns like the welcome campaigns or the do you know campaigns that I mentioned here. With each campaign, you get scripts, templates, and how-to instructions for flawless execution. You may decide to purchase a membership in the Academy of Physician Engagement. That will give you access to a library of about 100 how-to videos, as well as research tools, special reports that you can send to doctors, and other tips and tools that will help you accelerate your growth. We offer strategic and tactical support. So we've got mentoring programs where you tap into our expertise in the medical market to help you achieve your goals. We offer coaching, which is like athletic coaching. We help you optimize your performance. And we also offer consultative services where we help you identify your business goals and we help you achieve them. Physicians want to work with the very best financial advisors, so we've got packages that will help position you as a thought leader. One of the best ways to leverage your time and marketing resources is to create a collection of short how-to videos. A physician who's watched your videos has the experience that they've sat down with you and had a conversation. If you create 12 videos, that means that you've got drip marketing for a year. Doctors can also have this contact with you when you're asleep. I highly recommend you consider doing this. We can help you write books. We can help you write special reports. We can help you craft talks. We can even share a platform with you. We help people get quoted in publications, very low-cost PR services. We can help you co-write books or special reports. You have access to any of these products or services as a la carte selection. In addition, we've got bundled packages that are complete sales and marketing solutions at a significant discount. Here's the bottom line. We are here to support your success. We've helped our financial advisors increase their assets under management by tens of millions of dollars. We'd like to help you do the same. Please feel welcome to reach out, schedule a complimentary 15-minute consultation where we can talk about what your goals in the medical market are and how we might be able to help you get there. Thanks again for your time. Wishing you much business success.